Alright, ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing? Apologies for the small delay there. Welcome into Division 1. I hope everything sounds all good, and there's a comment there about audio. You let me know if you can hear me or not. Yeah, welcome into Division 1. This is my first time commentating on RSF1's top tier. It's a pleasure to be with you. My name's Harvey OC. And I am very excited to see what these guys have to offer. I have been commentating with RSF1 for about a year now. A year? Sorry, a season. I was Division 5 all of Season 8 there. I've been running Division 3, oh sorry, commentating on Division 3 so far. But I've been given the grand old opportunity to switch over to the big boys at the top of the field, which is something I'm quite excited about. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to offer. I do need to, and I will at one point, maybe in between sessions, try and jump in here, and we'll have Mr. Rodders on to speak to you all, but for now we are just ticking away here with just myself. So, it's going to take me a while here. I'll learn the names, I'll learn the pace. But, there's a few notable missing names today. I believe, anyway. Neither Aldaf nor Sam Howes gracing us with their presence today. But Atom has had his name up at the top of the field plenty of times already this year, I know that much. From running RSF1 Fantasy. So I'm excited to see what they're able to do as we work through our full quali session and then the race today. Certainly can, sir. I'll get that sorted for you shortly. Apologies to everyone. You will get some silence in between here. I'm just getting everything set up. As I've mentioned, it is my first time with this division, so I'm just ironing out all the little kinks and everything else, but I appreciate everybody being here. And I guarantee you it will not last.
Good evening, everyone. How are we doing today?
Good to hear you, mate. Welcome in.
Yeah, thanks for that. It's nice to be here for Division 1 again. And it's nice to see you doing a bit of commentary for
There's a
Div 1.
massive crash. Tom has just lost it completely there. Got it on stream at least, but wow. That was a huge crash. It's going to bring out the yellow flag and it's going to eliminate Tom from qualifying completely. There you go. You've barely been in 30 seconds and there's already drama going on.
Must be just me. We could actually end up having a red flag in the race because they've moved red flags up to standard.
Yes. Yeah, excitingly. There's a real chance today that we would see a red flag. Australia is a track that I feel does tend to generate a fair few safety cars, especially with that middle section. So it wouldn't shock me if we do see one today.
It'd be nice to see one, but it wouldn't be nice just for the fact that no one's had any experience under red flags. So
Yeah.
you just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it plays out the strategy. Just as one comment here I want to make. I assume it's C White is how we're going to pronounce their name at the top of the field there. Has set his fastest lap, I believe, on mediums. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I'd just say white.
So the reserve currently leading the way on the medium compound tyres. That is a monster of a lap.
Legend comes around the last corner and crosses the line and does a 18.7. Only good enough for 13th.
Easton has already aborted his flying lap here, or perhaps just going for a second warm-up lap.
Wizard has retired in the pits. Or crashed.
Safety car on lap 1 after sector 1. That would be early.
There's a tyre still on the track.
Oh, great fun.
Missed that, everyone. Dragon says, you watch safety car on lap 1.
Okay, yep.
After section 1. We'll have to wait and see on that one. I'm going to say there could be a safety car after turn 1. IGN Legends has come into the pits. Mega Centurion is about to start a lap. Looks like with Muddy Biscuit. No, it isn't Muddy Biscuit. So it was going to be Tornado, but he come into the pits.
There you go. There is a prediction in chat now, so feel free to vote for what you think is more likely. Will we see a safety car, VSC, or red flag on lap 1? Yes or no?
Well, I'm going to say yes.
Put your money where your mouth is then. Put some channel points on the line.
I have.
10.
For
Is that it,
the minute.
runners? Surely. For the minute. I like it. I like it. I would also be voting yes, but I have to put the decision in, so I'm not allowed to vote. Easton moved up to P3 there with a 118 flat. Pigeon Munch up with a 117.6.
Just say your vote, and I'll put the points in for you. How about that?
Well, it's going to be a yes. It's absolutely going to be a yes. I would say VSC is probably the most likely of the bunch, but if we don't see anyone spun around or knocked around at some point, I would be quite surprised.
How many points would you like?
2,000.
2,000 points. There you go.
There's a vote placed. Only 2 laps yet to set. 2 laps, 2 drivers. Wow, I'm all over the place today. 2 drivers yet to set a lap so far in qualifying, both still in the pit lane. Although, as I say that, I think Reese might be on his way out. Indeed,
So, one of the drivers in the constructor team that I am in has set a lap at the minute. Still waiting on the other one, who's now just gone on an out lap. So, let's see what they can do.
Nice to see a full 20-car field today as well.
Yes.
Always exciting.
Everyone loves this track now. They've reformatted the track.
It is much faster, and it is more exciting.
I just seem to be getting, every time I do practice around here, I just seem to be getting quicker and quicker and quicker. But my practice is only done through TT, so I don't know what my setup is going to be like for the race. But we will cross that bridge when we get to it.
Reese is absolutely bombing his way around here. He should have enough fuel for a couple laps by the looks of things. Perhaps 2 hot laps in a row here. Well, I suppose he won't really get the benefit. There's a lot of ERS to be used. There's a car out as well. I completely missed that. There's another crash.
To Williams, it looks like. Light blue car.
It's the Ferrari of...
Oh!
I'm not sure.
Draco's out.
Has Draco just crashed as well?
Yeah. Turn 1.
So 3 cars out already in qualifying. Yeah, Vettel has also lost front wing. So you're right, there was a Williams that crashed too. Turn 2 has already claimed 3 cars today, 2 retirements. And we're only in Q1.
So we've got Tom that's crashed out, Steffi that's crashed out, and Draco.
Reese is on for a stormer of a lap here. Is going to move them up from 19th without setting a time up to 2nd.
Yeah, so Steffi, Draco, and Tom are the ones that have crashed out.
We might only have what, 13 cars in Q2 here?
Well, the way it's going, it may look like it.
A just tangent, just finished up a lap there, moved themselves up to P12.
Oh, look at the difference between P1 and P2.
0.003 of a second. Could you manage
That's
doing that on 3-lap old softs, though?
you couldn't put a sheet of paper in between that. That's how close it is. So sorry if I'm a bit quiet. I'm actually eating my dinner while doing the stream.
That's all good.
And it's just too nice to leave.
Right, that is it for Q1, at least for now. The cars that we know for certain eliminated are Draco Vettel, Mega Centurion, Legends, and Drastic Blaze. But it seems to be that Tom and Steffi Weffy Gamer also eliminated because of crashes. So we will only have 13 cars then in Q2 here in just a few minutes' time.
So I wonder who's going to be dropping out. Can Hudson improve? I know he set the time on the mediums, but can he get quicker? Or are they going to crash? Right, now it's time to find out. Who is going to go through to Q3? Who do you think we're going to lose, Harvey?
Oh, just yet? I don't know. I need to watch these guys a little bit longer before I start deciding who's slow and who's quick. People like Tangent and who else had an off? I don't think anybody's still in this session. People like that, you know, I've got to be at least a little wary of now after seeing a few spins in a session that didn't really account for much, but we'll see. We shall see.
I'm going to say we're going to be losing Hudson. In no particular order. So Hudson, Harry, and probably Tornado. Imagine Wagons has said Lizard King is terrible.
Fight and talk.
You know what? Now you said that, Imagine Wagons, be prepared to eat those words because he might come on and finish top of this yet. You do not know. He may love a crash, but what's he going to do within quali? So we'll just have to wait and find out. Who's first to go on a lap? It's Atom.
That's true. It is all one on a Sunday. Not wrong.
Yeah, you are not wrong, but we just have to wait and see what happens. I want my constructors' teammates to win this. Believe it or not, Imagine. My constructors' teammates are Reese and Lizard. So
Here comes Atom around the final corner. He's kept that car very stable so far on this lap.
He had a few
Crosses the
points
line
where
now.
he was spinning up the tyres. But that's a really good time.
Easton would have been making his way around, but he's invalidated.
DZ&Q's pretty much off the pace. Muddy Biscuit's going to come round.
A dust tangent was very, very close to the wall at the end there.
19.3. That's not a representative time from Muddy at all. Something must have happened on the way around. Even Mr. Pigeon Munch is going slower. He's going way slower than his TT at this point. Sorry, I just burnt the roof of my mouth. That's hot.
Easton invalidated last lap, backed off, is going again now. Oh, he's way in the gravel there, just about catches the car. Great little bit of Tokyo drift in there from Easton. But Japan is not on the calendar this season, son. Save it for
You'll have to wait
10.
until next season to get that. What can Lizard King do? Just starting his lap. Into turn 3. Gets around there nicely. A bit of wheel spin and a bit of rev limiter action. Into 5. Down this straight. Purple sector 1. Taking this little chicane bit. Down the straight that actually isn't straight. Flat out through here. Into this chicane. Is he going to hit it nicely? Very nicely done. Didn't scrub off too much speed either. This might be a quick time from Lizard. Oh, a little bit tail happy coming out of that corner. Alright, second to last. Into the last corner. Changed direction nicely. Runs it out wide though. Keeps it in bounds. And across the line goes top with a 17.5.
Rapid.
I can see everyone going quicker. Especially Mr. Pigeon Munch.
Well, everyone is on a cooldown lap now at the moment. No one is actually pushing. Easton looks to be getting ready to go again though.
What can Easton do? He's one of the quickest drivers in this division. He has also been called Mr. Consistent, but from what I've seen of his driving around these last couple of laps, they've not been consistent. He's on his outlap. So at the minute, we will be losing Tornado, Harry, and Wizard. They're all going to need to come out and do laps or actually start a lap without invalidating it. Brees has just come into the pits. I'm going to stay on board here with Tornado, who is coming around the last handful of corners just to start his lap. Backed off a bit to get a bit of room from the car in front. Right, and across the line to start his lap. Into turn 1, runs it out wide and he invalidates.
Well, Easton is still pushing at the moment, just ahead of him. That's a commentator's curse, if I've ever seen one, Rodders.
Definitely. Me going on board with him into driver's view with Tornado. He actually got penalised for running too far off the track.
Swinging through the fast chicane, there goes Easton. Well, White sets the fastest lap of the session.
It was 17.5 flat.
Kept it on track this time as the Alfa Romeo driver. 3 corners left to go now.
He's
looking
pushing.
pretty tidy so far, but I think the goal here is just to actually set a time. Doesn't really matter how fast it is, as long as you're getting one on the board. That'll be good enough for now. We should have time to get back into the pits and set another lap. It's P6 for him at the moment with a 1:17.9. You would have thought that might just be good enough, but it depends on what Tornado, Harry and Caesar can do.
Tornado is starting another lap.
Remember, because we...
Oh, nearly lost the car there. Car was unsettled at the front.
Because we had a few retirements, only 3 drivers will be eliminated from this session.
Oh! That car does not look happy of Tornado. His car is just sliding and all over the place. This is a king of tyres in the pits. As Rob Kelly hits the wall in the pits. Hasn't retired though.
Tornado really should just be pulling into the pits here, surely.
Yeah, he will do. Right, take another bite of my dinner. I've got a strange dinner tonight, but hey ho. Salmon Wellington.
No, there you go. He's got an ad. You'll need to tell him.
I'll tell him when he gets back.
Tell him when they're back.
Just drop a message when you're back.
He can't hear you.
I know.
Oh, Harry's had an off. Lost all of his front wing, but still driving. You know what? That might be it for FFR, Harry. In fact, it will be. There's no way he gets into the pits, back out, and sets a time. Unless he's going to go for a lap with no front wing anyway. Maybe it's wise to.
He's purple sector 2.
Maybe it's wise to do that because Tornado... If Tornado invalidates here, then that's them done. So if you're Harry, you may as well just take a lap, right? Get a time on the board.
He's coming into the pits.
Yeah, he's going to pit anyway, but... Atta moves to the top with a 117.272.
Jesus. Where are they finding these times from?
We're going to see them break into the 116s here, aren't we?
So, if I done my TT time,
Yeah.
I would be where Eastern is.
Well, here goes Tornado.
I'm 200ths of a second quicker than Eastern at the minute. Yeah, Gravedigger, if you can hear me, I'm having salmon Wellington.
No. Tornado just disconnected on their final flying lap. And somehow teleported back into the pits. That's a new one.
That is definitely a new one.
Muddy's just started another lap there in an attempt to save themselves. Reese is just ahead of them. Currently the man on the bubble.
What can Muddy do?
DZNQ pits with a 118 flat. So, if Reese can improve, it'll put DZNQ on the bubble. And then with Muddy Biscuit just behind, currently sat in P11, this could see the Mercedes driver out. Pigeon Munch and Caesar both out on track, but you'd suspect that they're going to pull into the pits here. They may as well finish their laps, I suppose. Reese has just about kept that valid through the final couple corners. Around the final right-hander now. Keeps out the wall, nice and tidy. Crosses the line. Does improve up to 117.636, and then Muddy Biscuit invalidates at the final turn, improves, but it won't count for anything. Didn't beat the checkered flag.
DZNQ's got through by the skin of his teeth.
And those three drivers are gone. Muddy Biscuit, PMR Tornado, both Aston Martins eliminated right at the end of Q2. FFR Harry, unable to set a time as well, will be the third car out.
I don't think he has Gravedigger. Gravedigger has said Muddy Biscuit has changed his game tag.
Technically, yes. But, not by choice.
Tornado said actually couldn't be asked again.
If you are unaware of the situation, Muddy Biscuit was banned from Xbox.
Sounds about right. Xbox are doing stuff like that. They've banned me before for sending a message in looking for a group. They've actually banned me twice, once for 24 hours and once for 7 days. For sending messages out in looking for groups.
There you go. All drivers out immediately here, as you'd expect to see in Q3. I say all, only 5, we'll make that 6 now, actually made their way out so far. Easton, one of the early risers, as is White. The AlphaTauri currently leading the way around. Caesar will be second, Easton will be third. Will we see a driver break into the 116s? We will find out within the next 10 minutes. And 40 seconds.
Drastic Blaze has said, nice to have you on comms, Harvey.
I appreciate it.
He doesn't really.
I do.
No, of course, he loves you, Blaze. He loves us all.
Well,
Me and Harvey have got a love-hate relationship, but he loves everyone else. Isn't that right, Harvey?
no comment.
I knew that was going to come out. No comment.
I'm not gonna ruin my reputation on the first week of Div 1 comms.
Oh. I stand on board with Easton. Let's see if he can actually set the lap without making the car swirl or putting it into a wall. Gravedigger, it's Rodders.
That is the first time since I've been commentating in RSF1 as White rounds the final corner here that someone has said who is on comms with Harvey rather than asking like every single time I commentate with Days, it's always, oh, who's on commentary with Days? So thank you, Gravedigger.
And
Easton
then he goes
crossing
up
the
also.
line third, a 17.781. Atom then with a 17.237, edging closer and closer to that 116, but most importantly, beats White by 0.001. 1,000th of a second between pole position and P2. As it stands, of course.
Oh yes, Gravedigger. If you didn't hear me on what I was actually eating, because you asked the question, what you eating? I've got salmon Wellington with a cheese and dill sauce.
Pigeon Munch invalidates coming through turn 1. Lizard King already on an invalid lap, so that leaves Rob Kelly as the next man for us to keep an eye on. He's not a name we've really spoken about so far. He's set to purple sector 1 though.
Easton's in the pits.
Like, genuinely a purple sector 1. There was a 26.8.
Mr. Pigeon Muncher's invalidated his first lap.
Yeah, he has indeed.
Came around the second corner though. Or second to last corner, should I say.
Ah, no, he invalidated turn 1 as well.
Right, here we go for his flyer.
Okay, crossing the line now. Moves himself up, but only up to P6 with his first lap. Lizard King has crashed and is out. So Lizard King will only start P10.
I would say that is an odd place to crash, but it isn't, because if you hit that curb on the inside going around that corner, it will spin you out.
Yeah, the first chicane takes its first victim of the day. Probably many more to come, you would imagine.
DZNQ's does an 18.2. He's going to have to improve on that. So Atom at the minute is your pole sitter, followed very closely by C White. Pigeon is going for another lap. Doesn't invalidate this time.
Pigeon actually has 3 laps of fuel left. He went out with 8. So maybe he was prepared to invalidate a few times. He said a good sector one. It's not purple, but it is decent. White has set a purple sector 1 though.
Can you find that 1/1000th of a second?
He's currently found 20 of them. Pigeon Munch invalidating once again. That chicane causing issues for the Alpine driver. The AlphaTauri behind him is closing him at quite a rate. We'll see what White can do now. Improves on his previous best. So he's up so far, just needs to keep it through the final couple corners.
Can this be 16?
Can it be 16? Can it be provisional pole for White? Crosses the line. Doesn't break into the 116s, but does take pole position as it stands. A 117.049. He's going to need to hustle if he wants to set another lap here. That might be the benchmark laid down for the AlphaTauri. And now it swings back towards Atom. What can he do today?
Atom's got to come out. If he doesn't, what's going to go on through his head?
JJ Hudson lost time in Sector 2 there and lost more in Sector 3. So he's going to pull back into the pits, get a new set of soft tyres and have one more run. All the drivers now waiting as long as they possibly can to come back out here.
It's going to be tight.
And the first car jumps.
That's the McLaren and Caesar.
Indeed it is.
And then DZNQs. Then it looks like Atom. Atom or Hudson. Atom, yeah. Easton has left the session. Alright, so we'll go on board with Caesar here. Can they improve? I don't think Easton's got enough time to get out after rejoining.
I agree, he needed to be already way out on track. And he isn't, so that'll be the end of the session for Easton. And indeed, he retires. Here goes Caesar then. He's going to be the first to set the final flying laps of the session today. He will only get one shot, as will the rest of these drivers. DZNQ will be next, then Atom. He's probably the man to watch so far. Tell you what, even White is going to need to get a bit of a move on here to get back around again. He should be fine, but he's cutting it probably closer than he wanted to.
Yeah, that's going to be close. Purple sector 1 for Caesar.
And it is a true purple. Faster than anybody else around the first sector so far.
No purple sector 2.
He does improve on his previous best, so he's still up so far. Atom does score a purple sector 2 now.
So I wonder if Caesar is using more downforce.
Atom does not look to be improving here at all. He's going to need to find 2.5 tenths in the final sector if he wants a chance at taking down White here. Here comes Caesar. He's improving, but I don't think it's going to be just quite by enough. Crosses the line. Apparently doesn't move on the timing sheet. There he goes. Up to P3. FG Atom is invalidated. So he won't improve at all.
I think that's it then. Unless Reese can set a shock. Rob Kelly goes third.
Jay Hudson had a bit of a flick coming through Sector 3 there. I think just about kept it all tidy. He's probably going to improve here, but I don't think it's going to be enough either. He might just take down DZNQ, sneak into the third row on the grid. And does so, indeed. Reese still on his way out. He's got a big improvement. So far, moves up into pole position. And suddenly, there's a chance here. White needs to improve. He's rounded the final corner. He's done everything he can. It might not be enough for the AlphaTauri driver. Crosses the line. I didn't see if he went ahead or not.
Reese is still first.
Didn't. Reese does maintain pole position right at the death. Well, there you go. Left it about as late as you possibly could. I say, 10th in it. Between P1 and P2.
There's half a second between first and 7th.
And Reese did indeed cross into the 116s, the only driver today to do so. What a lap. I mean, that is a huge, huge lap.
That is quick.
A 26.671, a 17.546. That is rapid from the Red Bull driver. And he'll find himself.
That.
Yeah, he'll find himself leading these cars down to turn 1 in just a few minutes' time. So, as usual, we take a short break here just to let everyone organise their strategies and whatever else. Hopefully, we won't have any kind of early ready up today.
And we're probably just going to have a little break to sort ourselves out, take a bathroom break, get a drink, whatever. And we'll be back in a couple... Well, I will be. I'm not sure about Harvey, but I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you can hear the rumble of the engines there. The driver's back out on track now. Getting ready to begin our 50% race here around the Albert Park circuit. One of my personal favourites. I'm very much looking forward to this. The first track I ever commentated on in RSF1. And I'm sure a race of chaos and great fun awaits us today. And that's what you all come here for.
Sorry about that, everyone. I am back. So we got 2 people starting on the softs. 6 people starting on the hards, and the rest are on mediums.
Indeed.
So this should be a good fight then. Atom has rejoined. So here we go. They're all lining up on the grid. Does anyone disqualify themselves from missing their grid box? It doesn't look like it. One, two, three, 4, 5. And away we go. I'm looking at the back of the field here.
An absolutely
Fantastic
storming start from White, who's already moved himself up. Oh no, he's round. Collision already between the 2 leaders. White got himself up into P1. Reese not leaving enough room. Maybe White sticking it in where his nose didn't quite belong. Finds himself spun round. Down the back of the field. Nothing yet in the way of a safety car. Virtual or otherwise. But drama already.
White was pushing.
Oh, there we go.
Reese.
There is a crash. Muddy Biscuit round as well.
VSC.
Massive front wing damage. Full safety car? It is indeed a full safety car. And, oh, Biscuit's... he's crashed into the wall. So, he is out of this Grand Prix. I'm not entirely sure what on earth happened there.
So that means I get all my points back.
I think you get all your points back anyway because no one else voted for anything else.
I was going to put a vote on there to see if anyone would crash into the safety car, but I think that would be a no.
Not this time.
Stars Orphan done it.
Muddy Biscuit took a clip and the game froze.
Well, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. As much as we'd love to and see him race. Do you reckon White can pull this back?
For what, a win?
A podium at least.
I'd be surprised.
He's got no front wing damage, so he's all good to go. Who's everyone saying to win this race?
Well, I think Reese has to be the out-and-out favourite here.
Well, definitely Reese and Atom. No particular order. I don't know about White, though. I'm going to say Eastern. That's my top three. No particular order.
Oh, White, Atom, Easton. Sorry, Reese, Atom, Easton. Is that what you were saying is your top three?
That's my top three, but in no particular order.
Lizard King... Does Lizard King have wing damage? No. Maybe? No. It looked like his front left end plate was missing there, but...
If anything,
No.
it's very slight. Shouldn't impact performance at all. Jengus Logan has said, "Come on, you Alpha boys."
The Alpha's sitting very pretty so far.
In third and seventh.
Really good start for Alpine too.
Yeah. In fourth and fifth. Just got to be careful not to take each other out. They've dropped right back from the safety car. Is this going to be an early go, or is it going to be right at the line?
I would say right at the line here, but we'll see if Reese is able to catch Atom out. Atom went alongside for a little bit then. I thought Reese was going to go. He baits him out once more. Now goes, but I think Atom's going to be all over the back of him. Lizard King is indeed coming into the pit, so maybe there was front wing damage there. Doesn't take a penalty for it. Atom going side by side with Reese. Backs off into turn one, decides that is not the opportunity to make a move, and I think that was probably the smart decision. They all come through single file, no overtakes, down through turn one there after the restart. The McLaren of Caesar looking for a move on Hudson. They're going to go side by side as well. Caesar gets the inside line there for the next corner, moves ahead, promotes his McLaren up into P5.
Got a spinner, turn three. It's IGN Legends.
Oh, and Vettel's out.
No damage. Vettel.
And there's another safety car. That's a massive crash. There's barely any left of Vettel's car.
How did he end up there?
Well, it's 2 laps and 2 safety cars in a row.
Who would have thought that they would have predicted that 2 safety cars in a row? If this keeps going, it's going to be a long night. I hope you haven't got work tomorrow, Harvey.
I do not.
Well, lucky you, because I have.
I'll give you an interesting fact if you'd like one.
Throw all the facts you like at me.
Only one driver so far in this race has reached over 200 miles an hour.
That's got to be White or Reese.
Surely. It is not White or Reese.
Okay.
Do you want to know who it is, or do you want to keep guessing?
No, throw it at me.
PMR Tornado.
Tornado, wow.
Tornado is the only driver so far to hit over 200 miles an hour. 322 kilometers per hour, to be exact, is his top recorded speed so far.
Wow.
So I can only assume he got a very good jump on the safety car, better than anybody else, and was able to get some good speed going down the straight there. Next closest is DZNQ, and third fastest is Draco.
They must be running low downforce setups then.
You'd think so, which is interesting, right? That tells you something. Because Atom's top speed so far is 306. Reese's is 310. So the leaders do seem to be running slightly higher downforce setups than some of these guys in the midfield. But saying that, the likes of Steffi and well, Vettel as well, both with top speeds at 313, despite both running the softs. So almost a mix of strategy there, going for the stickier tyre, but still sticking with the higher downforce. I think we all want a red flag for fun.
I think we do, but please don't do a red flag on purpose. I'd like to see one, but I wouldn't like to see one at the same time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to make us stay here longer. And some of us have to be up at stupid o'clock in the morning.
Safety car in this
lap.
Once again then. And Reese will lead them down to turn one. Will he retain this lead this time? Will Atom have learnt his lesson from White's attempt to take the lead?
Is he going to switch tack and go early, or is he going to go on the line again?
I think he'll wait again. This is a long... Oh, no, never mind. I take it back. Not only does he go early, he goes 3 corners early, but he's not really caught Atom out much at all. He has caught out Rob Kelly in P3, so this means it's going to be a pure duel for the lead of the race now. Reese with I mean, he is way, way ahead of the rest of the pack here, and Atom is not close enough at all.
So it's worked for a minute, but there's a lot of straights in this, so can Atom keep up? He is definitely getting closer and closer, Atom. Can he make the move? Can he get it done?
As he's on the hard compound tyres, it probably would be a good idea for Atom to try and close up this gap as quick as he can.
Rob
Caesar
Kelly's
was gaining as well. Yeah. Reese maybe not quite the speed that we thought he had.
Might be just trying to get those tyres warmed up. Maybe they were a bit cold off the start.
Well, regardless, Atom has really found how to extract some speed from those hard compound tyres. In no time at all, really. Oh, he's lost a little bit there, though. Dropped off a few tenths.
We've got through a lap without a safety car.
Finally. Bernd Mailander gets some time off.
But Mylander's gone to sleep in the pits.
Well, there's a spin in Sector 1. Mega Centurion goes round, but Mr. Mailander stays in his garage for now. He wants a third Driver of the Day award, I'm telling you.
We've got Tornado on Harry.
Yeah, Tornado lost out on the safety car restart.
He's catching Harry at a rate of knots. He's right on his gearbox. Oh, nearly lost the back of the car. He's in the gravel. He lost 2 places there to Steffi and Draco.
Loses
And now
another
to
as
White.
well. This is exactly how White needs to play this. Just sitting back and picking off positions as and when he can. DRS enabled. None of them will get it on this straight or the next. I don't... Oh, no! Oh, no!
Lizard and...
Lizard with an absolutely massive shunt went way too deep into the final corner. Head first into the wall.
I think that was Lizards and IGN. No.
The instant replay here is going to be terrible. Won't even catch it out the bottom corner there. And, yeah, with a third car out of the race, no safety car.
Oh, here we go. Atom's got Reese.
There's a there's a huge pile up. There's 4 cars involved with an incident further down here. White, Harry, Tornado, even Legends. Yellow flags flying all over. Reese has lost another position here. And he doesn't have the speed to retake Rob Kelly. He thought about it. Going into turn 1, backed off and loses out on the exit. I think Reese has set his car up for the race poorly.
Deep. Centurion gets it back on the straight. So White's in the pits along with Tornado. New front nose of Tornado.
DZNQ is round. It's a spin of his own accord. Coming through the first sector. Or the second sector, sorry. He's recovered it now. I don't believe has any wing damage, no. He seems to be clean.
Hard tyres for both White and Tornado, and they both had front nose changes.
Well, they'll be trying to see those out until the end of the race now. Caesar gets past Pigeon Munch. The Frenchman just continuously moving that McLaren up and up and up. Maybe eyeing up the lead of the race now. Reese seems to be falling further and further back. Now McLaren has closed that gap massively in just the last few turns.
These tyres must be scalding. Or he's trying to do a bit of fuel management.
Now Reese is losing out again here. There's no traction for him coming out the corners. And Caesar has closed up completely, nearly got through. They were near enough side by side there. And now Caesar is going to be looking at this as an opportunity to get a position on the Red Bull. The fastest sector of the track coming up now. If he doesn't get it done here, surely he is on the exit of the chicane. Reese seems to have lost all of the speed that he had in qualifying. Mega Centurion is out. He's crashed on his own in Sector 1. That could bring out the safety car, which might be enough to save Reese. Doesn't look like it's going to, though. It's just yellow flags in Sector 1. And Caesar, doesn't quite get ahead of the Red Bull.
Both Harry and White have 3-second time penalties.
I don't know what's happened to Mylander. That's 2 incidents with retired cars in the middle of the circuit that he's decided he just doesn't fancy it, I suppose.
He's probably still asleep and hasn't noticed the crash cars. Tornado overtakes Harry. Oh, there's another yellow. Oh, it's just a slow car.
I think Harry had a bit of an off there, and that allowed Tornado to get through.
Easton is now in an Alpine sandwich.
As Harry will pull into the pit lane and retire.
Sorry, Charismatic, who went for a comfort break?
Mylander. Race seems to have found a little bit of speed. He's caught up to Rob Kelly a little. And they're all going to have to be careful here because there's a Haas that's come back out on track. It disappears off now just in time. Atom continues to lead. Rob Kelly 4 tenths of a second back.
Tom's now just slightly pulling away.
DRS though for Draco again. Look at the speed difference between the two cars. That is huge.
As people have been saying, what tyres are they on? So first and second are on hard. Third to fifth are on mediums. 6th to 7th are on hards. 8th to 10th are on mediums. Steffi is on softs. 12 and 13 mediums, which is now 11 and 13. And the bottom 2 are on hards. Oh, Reese is catching. Can he outbreak Rob Kelly? No, he's going to have to sit back.
DRS train is really starting to form at the top of the field. Oh, Reese is right up the back end of Rob Kelly there. Got his front wing practically inside the gearbox of that Alfa Romeo. Unable to get the move done.
Hudson getting past Easton.
On the 4th and final DRS zone of the lap. Maybe this time, could we see a double overtake onto FGE Atom into turn 1? I don't think there's going to be one. Yellow flags flying.
Reese
Is
nearly
there a
lost the back end
collision?
of the car.
No, it's just Tom who's lost it somehow on the pit lane. Sorry, the pit lane. On the pit straight. He's going again now. Doesn't really seem to have picked up any damage. That's a very odd one.
So we have 15 drivers
Has
there.
Tornado crashed in the pit entry? No. He's also spun coming out of the final corner.
Put the power down too early on that outside corner, you just go flying.
Reese has lost back out to Caesar. So it's the McLaren who's going to look for a double move to take the lead of this race. But being on 14 lap old mediums, you've got to think he's probably going to look to come into the pits now. Or at least sooner rather than later. This probably frees up Reese to pull into the pit lane as well. No, he decides against it. And weirdly, it's the hard tyre runners that pit. Explain that one to me, Rodders.
Don't ask me. Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, what I can do is give you another Harvey OC fun fact, if you'd like one.
Keep firing them away, dude.
The only driver to have not gone over 200 miles an hour in this race. Well, you should guess. Guess again.
White.
It is FGE Atom.
How's he not been over 200 miles an hour?
He's not gone over. The fastest he has gone is 199.3 miles an hour.
So pretty much you can round that up to 200 miles an hour.
You could, but he's not been over.
Yeah.
I suppose that happens when you're in the lead of the race and you don't have DRS. Well, everyone else behind you does, but he's managed to maintain that lead regardless. So something's clearly working in that Williams. There goes Caesar. Left it very late there to swing in, maybe in an attempt to disrupt Reese and bamboozle him slightly. Reese will inherit the lead of the race because of it. And on his 16-lap-old medium compound tyres, he will lead the way. Importantly, here comes Caesar out of the pit lane now, but he will be behind Atom and Rob Kelly.
Atom has just gone over 200 miles an hour.
He has indeed.
Is it 200.4, something like that?
I don't know, but I can tell you he's gone 324 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, so roughly about that. But we got another yellow. Tornado, is it? Yeah, Tornado spun coming out the last corner again.
FG Atom, Rob Kelly and Pigeon Munch all within 3/10 of each other. Coming up to the chicanes there, but Atom still continues to lead the way. Rob is doing all he can to put Atom under pressure here. And Reese is in. We'll see where he comes out here, but I think Atom will lead them. Really, the question is going to be, does Reese come out ahead of Caesar or not?
No. He's going to come out in front of Hudson.
He will indeed. That McLaren's actually a long way away, although Reese is on the softs. Reese is taking the softs to the end of the race.
I don't know if that can be done. Well, I know it can be done and get to the end of the race, but
Or maybe
you'll
a
be all over the
gamble.
place.
Maybe a gamble at this stage is the right move. Maybe you need a tricky strategy to win from P5.
Oh, we'll soon see how it goes.
See, after the first few corners,
Draco
Reese
and
was a
Tom.
whole second back on Caesar. He's already closed that up to 6/10. It was lower, even briefly there. And now he gets it within 5/10. Like that 4/10. So clearly the softs have some real speed, but Reese needs to make a lot of overtakes happen in a very, very short space of time. Atom now officially retakes the lead of this race. As Reese moves ahead of Caesar already. Less than a lap after leaving the pit lane.
Draco with the fastest, that. And I'll tell you what, he's catching Pigeon at a rate of knots.
If there's a safety car now, Reese wins this race as White retires but in the pit lane. And Rob moves ahead of Atom. And that could be
time penalty for Tom.
That could be exactly what Reese needs, because now, if this fight continues at the top of the field, it's only going to bring Rob and Atom closer to Reese and really give him an opportunity. He's past Pigeon already.
Yeah, he's flying. $19-2.
Caesar back past Pigeon. That's a battle I'm sure we'll see continue for the rest of the night. Reese has 10 laps to take the win here. But I think the most difficult part of this this race that he's got ahead of him is keeping these tyres alive.
It's not going to be easy. It really isn't. You're probably lucky to get like 9 laps out of him, and he's done 2.
At what wear does a puncture become a real possibility? 70%?
No, 75 onwards.
75. Okay. I will keep an eye. I do have the tyre percentages here through my telemetry tool. That's how I have all the speeds as well. I will keep quiet in the interest of fairness, but as we edge closer and closer to that 75% mark, you might start to hear me get a little bit more anxious.
Atom catching Kelly.
Atom is doing an absolutely phenomenal job here, just putting pressure back on Kelly, making him use up his ERS and some of his resources as well.
Ow.
DRS for Atom as well.
Here we go.
There's a spin.
Oh,
there goes Tornado. Not Tornado, sorry, Tom. Still only going to be yellow flags though. What's the app called? There is a lot of them. I personally use Racing League tools so that we can get the standings and everything as well. But you can just use SimHub. SimHub is the best way.
Here we go. Can Atom get Kelly down the straight? No, Ops to stay just behind.
Atom again didn't use any ERS at all down the straight there. kept it all in the tank. It allows Reese to close another second. And he's just outside of DRS range. He might actually be in it by the time they get back around to the straights. And they do indeed. So Reese will get DRS on the way down to the chicane here. Or maybe he was just outside. We'll find out in a few seconds' time as they cross the line now. And Reese doesn't have any DRS. Oh no, he does. He does. So the Red Bull continues to close up here. Atom got just too close too soon there, didn't he?
Oh, I thought they were going to go side by side.
Oh, he's going to go for it now, though. Heavy on the brakes, gets by the Alfa Romeo, and Atom retakes the lead of this race on lap 22. But that Red Bull has got to be a worrying sight in your rearview mirrors. Look how close he is. He's as close as Atom was 2 corners ago to Rob now already. And Reese is going to take P2 here. Maybe not quite. That Alfa Romeo just has a little bit more speed. As we said earlier, Reese is one of the slower cars. He's on a higher downforce setup. He's doing very well through Sector 1 here, though. And I think this might knock Rob Kelly back down to the bottom step on the podium. Goes around the outside. It's going to become the inside line. Backs out, though. And Rob will maintain P2 for now. Which is good news for Atom. The more wear that Reese has on those tyres, the better. But I will say, as it stands, it's pretty damn even between the 3 of them. Here we go. Now Reese can do something. He's not got any ERS left, but that doesn't matter because Atom made Rob used up all of his. They've both got DRS, though. As they reach the chicane, no clear advantage to it either of these drivers so far. Could they go 3 wide here? Looks like Atom's going to be just far enough away. Rob is going to try and go around the outside. Contact made between the 2 of them. They're still side by side here. Reese is looking for any way through. He can't find one there. Back onto the straight now, but Rob's still going to have DRS. It's all happening at the front of the field.
Right. Can you get closer? Tom, another 3-second time penalty.
If he's going to get it done, it's going to be on this straight here. He gets such a better launch, but he's just got no overtake at all to play with. And that is where Rob is still succeeding. Now, they're very even now. Rob has used up a lot of his reserves here to try and maintain P2. Maybe in an attempt to use up more of Reese's tyres, but it doesn't seem to be helping just yet. DRS once again for both of these cars. Atom not looking very vulnerable considering the circumstances. Reese not thinking about a move before the chicane. But I think this corner is where he's setting it up and where he's looking to make it happen. DRS wide open. Thought about the inside, decides against it once again.
Issa gets pigeon.
Regardless today, it is great points for Alfa Romeo. Doesn't matter if Rob finishes first, second or third here. It is going to be a very good haul for that team.
Now you've just jinxed it because he's probably not even going to finish at all.
Reese actually backs off this time.
I think he's trying to look after his tyres because he's on 7 laps.
Yeah, I think what he's going to do now is back off, as you say, save the tyres a little bit, probably save some ERS as well, but let Rob and Atom battle against each other and then try and swoop in right at the end of the race to take the position off both of them. As it stands, he's nowhere near the danger area really here for a puncture, but those softs will definitely be starting to drop off round about now.
Oh yes, definitely. But he's still putting in times to catch him, though. He won't be quite there this time round. We've got Easton and Hudson battling it out. Hudson on Draco. Has a little look, not quite close enough though.
Maybe as they come round to the main straight though. Rob for now is going to sit back. I don't think he's close enough. Neither is Reese once again. Hudson's nowhere near, but Easton might be on the Alpine. Not this time. Oh no, that is huge. Reese takes a 3-second time penalty. And that all but eliminates him from the fight to win this race.
He can't afford to drop off too much though, because Caesar Wizard's there. I know he has a 3-second time penalty himself, but
maybe that's exactly the news that Rob Kelly needed to mount an attack here on Atom, and he is going to do just that. Backs off though. The Red Bull is still scrapping here.
that doesn't quite get that done.
Only so long that Atom can lead this race, but tell you what, if I'm Reese, you've still got a podium here. Surely you just want to sit back now and make sure your tyres don't explode.
Yeah, that's all you need to do, really.
Oh, that's a big kick from Rob Kelly. He recovers it well, though. Two laps left. Alfa Romeo versus Williams. Two legends of the sport. Rob Kelly and FGE Atom dueling it out here for 2 more laps. Both pretty even on tyre wear. Both on the same compound. Both with the same ERS left in the tank. Atom leads. He's got no DRS to defend with because of that. Rob Kelly does though. He's going to use it here. He's going to use it to its full potential, maybe. Atom left room down the inside, but Rob neglected to take it. I think he'll struggle here to make much happen. Tornado has spun, and that's going to be right in the danger area here as these drivers come around the final corner. Car cleared out the way, nice and fast, so it won't be a problem in the end. Rob gains now out of the final turn, gains a lot of speed as well, using DRS, but isn't going to make it happen this time. A 1/10.5 between himself and Glory here in Melbourne. Just a handful of corners left to go. Yellow flags, there's another crash there. Coming out the final chicane, Tom, who's not had a great race with penalties and whatever else, but survives at least. Rob has got to give absolutely everything he's got left. They've both got 60% ERS. He's using it all now. Reese with another time penalty. That might relegate him off the podium now. Rob is gaining and gaining and gaining, but he's still not close enough into that chicane. He's going to use absolutely everything he's got now. Has DRS. He's going to use it. Is he going to make a dive bomb here? Decides against it, backs out, but he's compromised a little bit there by how slow Atom went. 3 turns left to go. Swings it right.
They touch.
Brings it back left. And here we go. A drag race down to the line. Rob's going to use DRS. He's going to be very tight at the line, but FGE Atom will win the race by less than 1/10 of a second. Reese will take P3 for now. Isn't going to get relegated by Caesar, but it might be enough to put Drake on the podium. It's not quite in the end. Caesar takes P6 after his penalties that dropped down by 2 positions. Drastic Blaze in P7, Pigeon Munch P8, Eastern in P9. Steffi will cross the line in P10. Legends in P11 here. His Mercedes teammate DZNQ in P12. And will hold that position as Dan behind has a number of penalties. Front wing damage, it says here that Eastern had at the end there. Did you say there was contact made?
Contact made between Reese and Rob.
Well, Eastern lost a front left end plate there. He might have been carrying that for a while. But FGE Atom will win this race. Rodders, would you try and get these guys invited into the party and I'll let you do the interviews?
I'm just going to sit back because I'm busy doing stuff in the background at the minute. It's quite important that I've got to do. So I'll invite them in.
And there you go. Final results there after all penalties applied. Atom wins the race. Rob Kelly P2, Reese in P3. And there's the rest of your field. A relatively clean race in the end as things stand. Right, well, Rob, we will start with you. I'll get your thoughts and opinions just generally first. How was that race for you?
Yeah, wasn't bad actually. Yeah, knew I'd have semi-okay pace. I didn't know how great it would be. I mean, it's like my second RSF1 race, so yeah, I think overall went pretty well. Pretty tricky battle with Atom at the end.
Yeah, struggle to complain about a P2. Was there much strategy going on in your head? I know you had Reese to worry about for quite a while there. You were fending him off well. Were you thinking ahead to the battle with Atom, or was it just a case of trying to stave off the Red Bull there and stay in P2.
So yeah, I was watching the stream, so I heard you guys talk most of the time, and I knew Reese was coming. So when I was behind at him, I was like, all right, so I need to make sure I keep him behind. So for a few laps in my head, it was just keep Reese behind. And then after he sort of fell off like a little bit, I think his tires died. At that point, it was because I was pretty sure Atom had like a lot more straight line speed than I did. So in my head, I was thinking, I have to leave it to the last lap. I couldn't overtake him before because I think on the last lap, I think he would have had the advantage to get me. So I knew I had to wait to the last lap, but just didn't quite have enough to get ahead of him, which is a bit annoying. But you know, 900's pretty close. Can't get much closer than that. So.
You can't get much closer than that over the finish line. No, definitely.
Yeah.
No, it was a good performance. So it looked like you were edging closer and closer. I could see you were kind of backing off your ERS a little bit there for the last few laps. As you said, to go for it on the last lap. It's unfortunate we couldn't see some. Well, I shouldn't say this now that Atom's back in the party. It's unfortunate we couldn't see some very last lap drama and see you take the lead right at the end. But great race
I had
regardless.
like a half chance into the one of the big profiled in the last sector, but in my head I was thinking if I mess it up, it's gonna be a bit of an anticlimactic ending to have a crash. So I thought I'm just not quite close enough to go for it. So
look, I would have been screaming my head off, but I appreciate an actual clean result between the two of you. I know you won't have practice. You probably won't have thought about it much, but Monza next week. How are you feeling about that? Is it a track you're confident at?
I haven't done a lap of Monza this year, so I had no idea. Not a clue.
Okay,
could not tell
right.
you. It could go either way.
Well, fair enough. Well, hopefully we'll see you next week, and good luck for that one. But congratulations on the P2 today.
Cheers, but yeah, hopefully see you there.
All right, Atom, then the man of the hour, race winner. Congratulations, first off. Talk us through your feelings. How was that race for you?
Well, that was a roller coaster ride, really. I mean, I disconnected going into the formation laps at the start on 70 degrees parts, which I didn't really want to pick. I just wanted to fake someone into the hard tires and then switch to the mediums. But then with the two early safety cars, it actually worked out nicely. And you go on.
You say it wasn't what you wanted, but you seem to be extracting a lot of speed out of those hards very early on, which I was impressed by. Obviously the battle there for a long time was between Reese and Rob, and you were kind of just sat ahead. Were you just keeping an eye on that? Were you trying to pull away, or happy to sort of just sit in the pocket there and lead? How were you feeling for the last 10?
Well, obviously, I would have liked to pull away, would have certainly reduced my heart rate a little bit, but technically I knew. I mean, with 4 DRS zones now on such a circuit, it's nearly impossible to pull away, especially if you have 3 people like Reese, Rob and myself who are pace-wise quite close.
Yeah.
And I was sitting ahead and was like, if I'm behind, I'm kind of pissed off if someone just let someone through and then we just play DRS chicken and then maybe we take even someone out. It was like just hang it out there in the front, and obviously it was quite clear that Rob would try it in the final lap, and I was just waiting for the soft of Reese to just die off there because I think we had the pace. But I reduced my wing a little bit on my setup. Compared to others who ran more downforce, which I think was crucial in the end, and then burnt it all in the last lap and was ready to get the elbows out, which was almost needed. But Rob has had a great race as well, so that was really fun and intense at the same time.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal to watch. Obviously P3 only in quali for you. But a good recovery with the first corner incident there. Sat very well, and a very well played race, so congratulations to you for that. I will ask the same question to you as I did to Rob. I know generally what the answer here is, but how do you feel about Monza next week?
Well, I think it's quite interesting that Monza's immediately after Australia, because both our tracks were probably usually not the driver who's the quickest wins, because there's just so much potential for chaos and drama. So the main thing is to just keep your nose clean, really. I mean, I hope I can be up in the top 5 again in qualifying, which would certainly solve the first issues. But yeah, turn 1 is always a bit of a special one in Monza. Also, with everyone running low downforce, luckily not 0-0 this year. At least I hope so, because otherwise we'll see a couple of safety cars there as well. But yeah, let's put it this way: I would like a bit more of a calm race win next week.
Well, hey, you seemed very calm and collected up at the front there, so you weren't showing it at least. But yeah, congratulations once again. A race very well run, and well, hopefully we'll get to speak to you this time next week as well after an Italian Grand Prix.
I'll try my best.
All right then, that is us all wrapped up for Division 1 today. Congratulations once again to Atom on the win, and Rob and Reese on their podiums. It's been a chaotic one as per, but a very clean race in the end. So yeah, congratulations to our podium sitters. I will hopefully be back again this time next week with some Division 1 commentary. It's been an absolute pleasure being here for the first time this season. Thank you very much everybody for watching, and I will see you again next week. Good night.